Hi everyone. Today I want to give everybody a message of hope. I was thinking on a Monday morning, what is the message that people need to hear? And I'm just gonna talk straight from the heart here. I know what it's like to have a hard time, and in life in general, and obviously with an addiction at one time in my life. It was 31 years ago, but I remember what it was like. It's something you don't forget, because you feel beaten, and with all the modern rehab techniques and 12-step support and all this kind of thing, it never quite really makes you feel better, because you always have this thing hanging over your head, and you're always defining yourself by what you used to do. And what I mean by that is, in recovery, you're in recovery. You're never free, and it's just a terrible place to be. I want everybody to know that they don't have to go through that. And I know that that's hard for people to understand, because that's the culture we live in. We live in a recovery-centered culture when it comes to addiction. And but my message of hope is that you can be free, that you can move on with your life. No matter how bad you think you are, no matter how bad you think you're addicted, no matter how hopeless you feel, you have just as much chance of getting over the problem as I or anybody that has gotten over the problem has. And that's statistically true as well. The thing that's going to make it hard for you is if you carry a message that you never get over the problem, or that it's a daily struggle. It doesn't have to be a daily struggle. When you frame getting over an addiction as a struggle, you create a battle. It doesn't have to be that way. It's not a battle to do drugs, right? It's not a battle to do them. You know exactly what you want when you're doing them. And it's not hard. And there's no reason on this green earth to think that to stop is any more difficult. Once you know that it doesn't have to be a battle, that you're actually choosing to get high, that you like it. Now, when you get to that place where you want to quit, or it's getting as difficult as it is beneficial to you, where it starts to balance out between costs and benefits, when you're in that place where you're deliberating every time you get high and it seems painful, and the consequences and costs and trade-offs are right there, and the wolves are at the door. When that's happening, like any choice that's valuable to us, it becomes difficult and painful, because you're paying such a steep price. It'd be like buying a broken car for a high dollar value because you think it's the only car that exists, when there's a whole world of Cadillacs that are beautiful at a cheaper price. And that's what I'm proposing. I'm proposing the Cadillac at the cheaper price, a much cheaper price, and a good life. So the question is, how is that possible? First, what we've done is we've listed out all the mythology that's keeping you trapped. We listed out in the table of contents in the Freedom Model for Addictions, the book I wrote along with Steve Slate and Michelle Dunbar. We co-wrote it. And we list out all the beliefs that keep people trapped. And I'm telling you, if you read it, you're going to be like, I think that, I think that, I think that, oh my God, I think that. And you're going to be shocked to find out that basically everything you think you know about addiction is wrong. And that's freeing, because the myths that you're holding on to, for instance, the idea that it is a battle, that doesn't have to be so. But our culture has framed it that way because they believe, our society believes, and our treatment-centered society believes that addiction happens to you. That it's this otherworldly force within your that hijacks your brain, that comes into you like a virus and attacks you. And that's not true. It's just not true. It's false. You've been told a lie, and you believe it. But the truth is, if you look at it, when you get drunk and high, you like it. You like the front end benefit, and you prefer it. You prefer heavy use. If you're a user like I was, if that's the issue. So, what's the message of hope? The message of hope is, let's debunk all these myths so you can see that everything you need to get over an addiction is right inside of you. That it's not about a battle, it's about choosing. Using your free will and choosing something better for yourself. Now, better might be moderating, might be adjusting your use, it might be going from heroin to pot. I don't know. It might be completely abstaining like I did for 20 years and then moderately drinking like I do now. I wouldn't even call it moderate drinking. I barely drink. But anyway, the point is, it can be any combination that you choose for yourself, that you prefer. But it allows you to explore it without guilt, without fear, which is awesome, and that you can get over this problem without a battle. I know that sounds impossible. I know that because that's what you've been taught. But that framework is wrong. It's just ineffective, and it's simply not factually correct. So you can make this a terrible thing where you feel deprived, and you can believe that drugs and alcohol are the only way you can be happy. You can believe that, but it's really untrue. There's a whole world that you're missing out on. And drugs are not as devastating as they say, nor is it as exciting as they say. It's simply a tool, like every other thing in the human condition, to be happy. That's what it is. And in some respects it works. In some social settings, like a good dessert, it works. And in other settings, it's devastating because it doesn't fit. It'd be like having a drag car with 1,000 horsepower driving through a city street and hitting the gas constantly. It's just inappropriate. It just won't work well. It's a good way to get killed. So you're just in a place where you have an inappropriate tool for happiness at that time, if it's bringing you misery. And but our mind works in contrasts, meaning if you don't have something that's competing or that's different to compare it to, it's really difficult to let go of the devil you know. Because you've been taught by the Recovery Society that this is the only way you'll ever be happy. As a matter of fact, your biochemistry is so altered, you can't even be happy after you stop. That's just nonsense. There's no study that shows that. None. But you don't know that because you hear the platitudes that are just regurgitated out there to keep the treatment industry fueled. So, the message of hope is that you're entirely capable of getting on with your life. You can move past this. You need the right information. We can give it to you. We spent 31 years producing all this information, and it's information from all kinds of researchers across the globe that we collected along with our own. And we've dedicated our lives to finding the truth. And that truth is all within the Freedom Model for Addictions. If you're the kind of person that doesn't like to read a book and you struggle with that, then sign up for our Freedom Model private instruction classes and have this. We would literally talk like this. you'd contact Danny Wake. I'll give you the number at the end of the video, and you can have one-on-one classes and learn this from home. Move on. You can move on. You can have a wonderful life. You really can. If you need the chaos in your life to stop, and it's just brutal, where the sky is legitimately falling, and the shit has hit the fan like it did in my life, and you're dealing with legal issues and just chaos in relationships, and you're getting high constantly, and you're overdosing, or whatever it might be, and the wolves are at the door, so to speak. If that's happening, then maybe our retreat is the option for you. I don't know. That's what I did. I went somewhere. I went to Cherry's house originally, the original researcher on this. And I spent some months there. Now, we get through the freedom model in about 3 weeks, anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks. 2 is tough, unless you're really, really super driven. And it's hard to get through 450 pages of content in that time. So, we advise 3 weeks at the retreat. And but otherwise, look at the book. You can get it. Go to thefreedommodel.org. That website also contains information about the retreat, about Freedom Model Private Instruction, and the book. So you have 3 different options, 3 different price levels. I don't want to sound like an ad, but I want to tell you that there's a way to get this information, and people learn differently and they have different circumstances in their lives. But the information exists for you. We've spent decades building it for you. And so thefreedommodel.org, or for just retreat information, if that's the option you're looking at, it would be soberforever.net. That's soberforever.net. Or you can call direct about any option. Call Carla at 888-424-2626. And I hope this message makes your Monday a better Monday. I just want to help. I want you to know what I know, the freedom that I feel, and just know that I was once deeply, deeply lost. Just a young kid who was really lost. I was crushed inside. Didn't know what to do. And then I found the research that set me free. So, yeah, that's it. 888-424-2626. I hope you call. Take care.